The Washington football team has finally released its new nickname and uniform, and we are going to break it down. Welcome to the Jersey Score, the channel where we rate and debate about team uniforms and all things sports aesthetics. And today I'm here with Chris, and we are going to break down the new Washington Commanders nickname and their new uniforms. And so, Chris, what is your, first of all, with the nickname, what is your first impression?
I'm not wowed by it. I mean, it feels a little lackluster. It feels like it just falls short. I was a fan of Washington football team, and I still am. But Commanders, it falls short to me.
Yeah, so I didn't like Washington football team for the sense of it felt very soccer style to me, and I like having a nickname. But I was glad that they took the time to try their best to get it right. They didn't rush into it. But having said that, after waiting a couple years, my expectations, I have to admit, were a little bit high. But I'm glad. I think they did something related to DC to kind of tie it in there. If I can get used to, Pelicans as a nickname, I think Commanders certainly works better than that. So I'm not terribly disappointed, but I'm also not wowed by it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a generic name for a generic team. For an underperforming, underachieving team, you get an underperforming and underachieving nickname.
What's going to be the shorthand for the nickname?
I don't know. Well, I feel like, given the fact that we've dealt with woke culture and some of the fallout from the name Redskins and people wanting them to change the name and they, deciding to change the name, I feel like, there'll be certain people within the fan base who might just nickname them the Washington Commies, which, they might feel very fitting given the fact that it's Washington, D.C. and other bureaucracy.
I sure hope not. But, now that you point that out, it feels like they just walked right into that.
They did.
They set themselves up for it. How about the logo? What did you think about the changes there?
I'm not really a fan of the logo. I like the fact that they did continue the Washington football team logo. I do not like the piping in the logo, the lines inside the logo. I wish they just kept it just a very solid W. Like I wish the logo remained kind of trim as it has been over the last 2 years, but it's very thick and it doesn't really, it feels like very much like the University of Hawaii H, where it's very thick H. That W feels very much like that. So, I mean, I'm not impressed by it. I really, like I said, I wish it was more like the present W they had going into it, but.
Yeah, no, I love the previous W. I didn't think it needed to be modified at all. And honestly, I liked it enough that I hoped that it would stay their primary logo, but I also thought there was a chance that that would become a secondary logo and they might do something with, with a picture of a commander, a face or something. Would you have liked it they gone that route?
I would have liked some sort of like graphic stylized picture of a commander. I think that would have been pretty good. Been a lot of fun for sure. But yeah, I guess given that here we are now, there isn't anything like that. That now that you mention it, yeah, probably would have been very cool to have that.
They also added a crest.
So I do like that. I think that's very handsome. It reminds me, ironically, very similar to what the Ravens have with the Baltimore style crest that they've got. But yeah, I think it looks very good. Now, hopefully they'll find some use for it. I know it's going to be on the sleeve of the black uniform, but hopefully they'll find some way to incorporate that, like I said, in a way that's non-intrusive, but in a way that, it's still part of the everyday uniform or on the field.
What do you think of the new look?
I like the burgundy helmet. It feels like a deeper burgundy for some reason. I don't know, but I like the burgundy helmet. I like the solitary yellow stripe because I was never really a fan of the 3 stripes, the pro striping. But I do like the solitary yellow stripe. I like the dark face mask. The W on the side, I do. I mean, if it's got to be there as that particular logo, then let's roll with it. So black helmet, that's a different story.
Yeah, the W right in the center of the forehead. I don't know what they're thinking. For me, that's too much. Yeah, I do like I like the old helmets, but I do like that single gold stripe right down the middle. I think that the helmet's the best part of these new uniforms. How about the jerseys and the rest of the uniform? What was your feeling on that?
Yeah. I like I said, I love the color. I love that burgundy. I've always admired that. So I like the burgundy uniform. in general. But with these, I don't like that they're all put together with like one strong burgundy top to bottom. So hopefully they'll mix those up and put them with white pants or something. But and they're very plain. There's nothing on the pants. I was looking for something on the pants or something more with the pants, even a couple of stars or something. And they had like in the uniform preview there these really pretty stars along the neckline of the jersey near the stripes, but those don't seem to be present anymore. So I'm not sure what happened to those, but I did like that. I don't like the word commander, commanders in the front of the burgundy jersey,
All
but
right.
the white jersey, I do like the white jersey a lot. I like the whole white ensemble together. And I'm typically not a big fan of all white, but that one seems to work pretty good. And I like the words Washington across the front. And then the black uniform, that's pretty different. I'm not really a fan of how they changed the numbers on that one. The numbers are different on that one than they are on the other two uniforms. So it feels like almost like a completely separate uniform.
Yeah, it's not cohesive at all. I think the coloring reminds me very much of the new Atlanta Hawks look. They're black uniforms with the little highlights of red and yellow in it. And for me, it just doesn't it just doesn't feel like a Washington football team at all. I would have just kept, the same number sign. I mean, I would have kept everything. So, I mean, I'm kind of sounds like I'm anti-change here, but I just and maybe I am. Maybe I'm being a little curmudgeony, but I just think the gradient inside the numbers, at least on the white one. I mean, it's a bit much, and you see it a little bit on the stripes on the sleeves as well. And it's just the little things where it was so clean before. And I think that what they mistook with this look was a lot of it is plain. And I think that they thought that, mistook plain for clean. Overall, incorporating the new nickname, logo, and uniform, how would you grade the new Washington football team look?
I mean, for an overall package, I would give it maybe a C, B minus for an overall package. For the name, definitely a D minus for the name.
But no, yeah, for me, it's opposite. So my favorite thing is the logo because it's most similar to what they had.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some changes that I didn't like, but they're the ones that are easiest to swallow. And the crest, I think, really brings it up. Then Commanders, I think, is fine. I give that a, I don't know, B minus or C plus maybe. It's fine. I wasn't expecting it. We kind of knew the options for so long. I wasn't expecting anything to blow me away. Just something I can live with. And the uniforms, that to me is where I thought they were going to nail it. I thought they were going to stick the landing, and that was going to really, whatever the nickname was, if they had good uniforms, it's good. It's like, okay, let's go forward. And to me, I feel like I have to grade them on a curve a little bit with the uniforms because they came from, my top five. I don't know if I have an exact order, but they had to be probably my top five uniforms and look in as the WFT throughout the entire league. And now they've gone to maybe bottom five. I don't know. I'd have to look at it, but definitely dropped drastically. So I feel like I have to grade them on a curve on that. And so, yeah, definitely much lower.
Yeah. Just when you think that they had 18 months to do this.
Right.
And it feels like it's kind of like one of those things where I was like, I've got 18 months to get a project done, so I'm going to procrastinate till the last 2 weeks and get it turned in.
Well, and that's the thing. Whoever they hired had the easiest job. You had the answer right there. They already did the hard work when they did this previous look, after they dropped the
Mm-hmm.
Redskins. I mean, you could have either gone back to the Redskins and just slapped a different logo on there, or the WFT, in which case you could have kept everything and maybe just written Commanders on there, not in the way they have it, just like in the same, lettering, and
Yeah.
hand it over, collect your paycheck, and call it a day. Overall, you happy, mad, or just kind of like indifferent?
I'm just unimpressed. It's
Unimpressed.
indifferent.
How about you? What did you think about the Washington football team rebrand? Let us know your favorite and least favorite parts in the comments down below. And as always, please don't forget to subscribe and like, and we will see you next time.